I would like to begin by publicly acknowledging Abe and Bill and George and Marietta, who's not here, and Suzanne, and all people, all those friends who have helped initiate this fast and vigil, and who year after year continue this great effort for life. So let's give them a round of applause. I have to begin by just giving thanks to our Creator for the miracle of life, and recognizing that with God all things are possible, and without God we can do nothing. Abe told you how we met. A year before, I was and still am living at the Dorothy Day Catholic Worker, a couple of miles up the road from here, and received a call by this ragtag group that was vigiling and fasting in front of the Supreme Court to abolish the death penalty. And the request was, could the Catholic workers make the meal to break our fast? And I thought, well, you know, hospitality is kind of our vocation, and you know, we feed people every Thursday who are homeless here in DC, and we believe in the cause, and we said immediately, sure. And then I asked, what time is it? Midnight. Midnight in front of the Supreme Court. Well, that's an interesting idea. So anyway, we prepared this feast, and ever since then I've been part of this great circle, along with other members of the Dorothy Day Catholic Worker, where we try to put into practice the teachings of Jesus, of doing the works of mercy and the works of peace, proclaiming the message of nonviolence. As Abe mentioned, a year later, there was an invitation to be part of a nonviolent witness here on these steps. And there were 18 of us. Tom is here. How many people are here that were part of that witness in January of '97? It was very bitter cold that day. And we had this 30-foot long banner that we got up to the top of the steps saying, "Stop executions." And for that, we were arrested and then went to trial. And it was really during that time that I first heard murder victim family members speak, and I was deeply moved. Since then, of course, there have been other actions that have happened here, and some of the more recent defendants stand with us today, who were convicted on Friday. Everybody know about that trial that just happened, and 8 people were recently convicted and fined, or given time served in order to pay court costs. Could you guys just raise your hand who were part of that? Just look around the circle here. Thank you very much. They did the same thing in January of taking the banner onto the plaza here. Stop executions. And so I want to tell you about my experience with coming face to face with an unspeakable tragedy. September 20th, 1999, I was in Connecticut at the time. My dad was very ill, suffering from complications of a car accident. And I was in the hospital room with my mother visiting my dad, and a nurse came into the room and took us into another room saying, "I have some very important news to tell you." And she proceeded to tell us that my younger brother Paul, 2 years younger than me, had been in a terrible accident and didn't know if he'd made it. And as we continued to learn more about what transpired in the following hour, we learned that my brother Paul, who was the co-director of Mercy Housing and Shelter, a facility for homeless people in Hartford, Connecticut, he had been working there for over 10 years. He was leaving work, and as he was going to the parking lot, a mentally ill homeless man stabbed him repeatedly. The man who my brother had served at the shelter. And come to find out that my brother was near death in the walkway to the parking lot, and then died at Hartford Hospital several hours later. My older brother was at the hospital at the time, and he got a call and was able to be there when my brother was pronounced dead. Those of us who were able in my family, I come from a family of 7 kids, along with a very close priest friend of my brother's. And we just began to try to find words and offer each other consolation on how to deal with this unspeakable tragedy. And it was in those moments that amidst the grief and the anger, the disbelief, shock, that I thought back to some of our friends here, some murder victim family friends here, who has offered such a compelling witness, an example of what it means to be about the way of love and compassion. I also started to remember and pray over the words that Jesus gives us: "Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. Forgive, and you will be forgiven." And as we went around the circle in our grief, I was able, somehow, through the grace of God, to offer a prayer for this man who I'd never heard of before, who had killed my brother. His name is Dennis Sutar. And I want to pass around a picture of my brother Paul, and Dennis is on the back page. And for those of you who never saw the actual photo turned into a postcard of our action here in '97, this is in here too. So I'll just pass this around. My brother was very well known. He was known as Mr. Holidays because of his wanting to give the friends at the shelter a 5-star meal every holiday time. And so he would pull out all the stops to put out actually a banquet for over 100 homeless friends. And he was well known in the community for his advocacy for the homeless. I had been with my brother the day before, and for those of us who have lost loved ones, there are no words, and all you can do. I'm sorry.